All right, this is a different video today because this isn't Black History. This is Black Currency. This is Black Present. But I wanted to talk about an artist that I think doesn't get enough love and deserves a whole lot more. An artist that we really love here in our home. And I don't have all of her albums, but I hope to one day have more of them. But I'm glad with what I've got. And that artist is Corinne Bailey Rae. Now, the way that I came into contact with Corinne Bailey Rae's music was when I was working at Starbucks. We sold her first CD, her self-titled CD. Here it is in record form, and I loved that album. I mean, I really, really did, and it was different than a lot of stuff I'd heard before. It mixed genres. She had these smooth, kind of jazzy vocals. The music was mellow in a lot of ways. It was very calming to me. I find her album very soothing, and it and there was like a sultriness. There was like an R&B, a little bit of jazz, maybe some soul, some blues. I really loved it though. Put Your Records On, the big single off of this album. Um, there's also like the first track, which is Like a Star, was a big single. For me, the biggest single on this album was I'd Like To. And if you've never heard I'd Like To is so good. I've got it on my main summer mix, and I think that it is no song personifies summer quite the way that that song does. So I'm very glad to have this record in my collection. Corinne Bailey Rae, being from the UK, someone that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to naturally if I wasn't working at Starbucks at that point, especially with the music I was listening to at that time. This was not something I would have just picked up. Now, she's got a lot of other albums. Another one that I ended up getting, and this was a record store day release, and my brother-in-law bought it for me, is The Sea. The Sea, beautiful album. Again, record store day, was on this opaque blue vinyl. Um, this album it's very, very good. It's one that, like, when you have an album as good as the first album, it's hard when you listen to the second, like, does it live up to standards? But this one grew on me a lot. And there's a song on here called I Do It All Again, which is maybe just one of the most heartbreaking, beautiful songs that I've ever heard. I Do It All Again is really a song that's kind of about her husband who passed away. She was married to her saxophone player, Jason Ray, and unfortunately he passed away. And I Do It All Again is this song about how you love someone so much, and even though you've mourned and grieved the loss of them, you would go through all of that again if it meant that you got to have those moments with them. It's worth it. Absolutely beautiful album. So much good stuff on here. Still very much in the vein of her first album. And then the other album that I have by her, I only have 3 of her albums. The other album that I have by her is her absolute newest album, which is called Black Rainbows. And it's out of the sleeve because I haven't put it back in the sleeve yet. And because I was shooting this video. But this is a what's the word? Gatefold. There we go. Song title's a little bit difficult to read on the back of this, but the big single off here, the first single was New York Transit Queen, which is almost like a punk rock song, which you would not have expected from Corinne Bailey Rae. This album goes all over the place, and the premise behind this album, which is something that I really appreciate, the premise behind this album is that and this is a quote from Wikipedia. Bailey Rae stated that Black Rainbows was inspired by an exhibition on Black history by artist Theaster Gates at the Stony Island Arts Bank in Chicago that she attended, which summoned thoughts about slavery, spirituality, beauty, survival, hope, and freedom. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous album. It came with this here. I forgot it came. I haven't opened this up in a bit, I was thinking about this today, how sometimes when we consume music, we consume things, we don't give them the time and the love and the attention that they deserve. So there is this big poster. Can you see it all? It's like a map. And then on the inside, we've got song lyrics and then sort of a smaller poster that you could hang up as well, which is kind of cool. This album, again, kind of all over the place. It's a double black vinyl. It is there were some colored pressings. I just don't have one. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful album, but it's not like her other albums, in that like she really goes all over the place genre wise here to explore the emotion that she's trying to sort of mine, and I really love it. So I want to wrap up though by talking about this shirt. I've talked about my artist, Corinne Bailey Rae. I've got another thing to highlight here in the Black History Spotlight, and that is this shirt, a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. My wife and I both bought this shirt so that we could wear it at our schools that we work at during Black History Month. We ordered this shirt from Mahogany Mommies, and it's a great, great shirt. They've got a lot of great stuff there. Highly recommend that shop. So if you haven't picked up Corinne Bailey Rae and you haven't picked up a shirt from Mahogany Mommies, you should definitely do that.